Take my word for it. There's no Area 51.
That's not entirely accurate.
What? Which part?
For years, the question lingered, are we alone?
Roswell's a very interesting place.
So you're saying you may declassify?
Oh.
You'll take it?
I'll have to think about that one, right?
Governments denied, experts speculated, and conspiracy theories ran wild. But now, in a moment no one saw coming, Donald Trump has confirmed what many have long suspected. Aliens are real.
The U.S. Navy has confirmed that UFOs are indeed real.
I've always wondered if the truth was being hidden, and now there's finally an answer. Trump confirms aliens. During an interview with his son, Donald Trump Jr., President Donald Trump made a cryptic remark about Roswell, New Mexico. When asked if he would ever reveal what he knew about the infamous site, Trump responded, "I won't talk to you about what I know about it, but it's very interesting." That one sentence set off a wave of speculation, with many wondering if he had been given classified information about Roswell and UFOs. Trump had previously expressed skepticism about UFOs, saying that while people report sightings, he wasn't entirely convinced they were real. However, he did acknowledge that he had been briefed on the topic. When his son asked if he might declassify anything related to Roswell, Trump gave a teasing response. "Well, I'll have to think about that one." He didn't confirm or deny anything, but his response left plenty of room for people to believe there was something worth hiding. Roswell has been at the center of UFO conspiracy theories for decades, all stemming from a strange event in July 1947. It all started when a rancher named W.W. Mac Brazel found some unusual debris scattered across his property. It wasn't the kind of thing you'd expect to see in the middle of the New Mexico desert. Metallic fragments, foil-like material that couldn't be torn, and beams that had strange markings on them. Brazel didn't know what to make of it, so he reported it to local authorities, and before long, the military got involved. The Roswell Army Airfield sent out a press release on July 8, 1947, claiming they had recovered a flying disc. Naturally, this made headlines, but within hours, the story took a sharp turn. The military quickly retracted their statement, saying the debris actually came from a crashed weather balloon. That sudden reversal only made things more suspicious, and people started to believe there was a cover-up. Over time, the Roswell incident became the foundation of modern UFO conspiracy theories. Many believe the wreckage wasn't from a weather balloon, but from an alien spacecraft, and that the US government secretly recovered not only the debris, but also alien bodies. Some say the wreckage and whatever else was found were transported to a secure military facility, possibly Area 51, where it was studied away from public view. The US Air Force later tried to put the rumors to rest by releasing reports in the 1990s. One of them claimed the debris was actually part of Project Mogul, a classified program that used high-altitude balloons to detect Soviet nuclear tests. Another report, released in 1997, suggested that the alleged alien bodies people had reported seeing were actually test dummies used in high-altitude parachute experiments. Despite all the official explanations, plenty of people still believe the government is hiding the truth about Roswell. Some think there's proof of extraterrestrial contact locked away in classified files, while others believe the event was the start of a decades-long pattern of UFO cover-ups. The city of Roswell, meanwhile, has fully embraced its place in UFO history. There are museums, festivals, and businesses all centered around aliens and the 1947 crash. Whether you believe in the extraterrestrial theory or not, there's no denying that Roswell remains one of the most famous and debated UFO cases of all time. But that wasn't the only time Trump has said something related to aliens. Not quite. Trump's expose of aliens. During a Fox News town hall with Sean Hannity, Donald Trump made a bold claim that, if re-elected, he would support the release of classified government files on UFOs. He didn't elaborate on what exactly might be revealed, but considering how long people have speculated about what the US government knows, his statement was enough to stir up interest. For decades, officials have dismissed UFO sightings or explained them away. But in recent years, the government has admitted that unidentified aerial phenomena are real without confirming anything extraterrestrial. Many believe that hidden within classified reports are details that could change everything we think we know about UFOs. Trump's comments suggested he might be willing to declassify that information, which would be a major moment in the ongoing debate over government secrecy on the subject. Beyond UFOs, Trump also brought up another hot topic: his support for releasing the full files on the JFK assassination. This is one of the most scrutinized events in American history, and despite multiple investigations, there are still classified documents that the government has refused to release. While thousands of pages have been declassified over the years, key portions remain hidden, fueling speculation that officials haven't told the full truth about what really happened on November 22, 1963. Some believe there was more to the story than just Lee Harvey Oswald acting alone, and Trump's promise to reveal everything could either confirm suspicions or raise even more questions. Trump also addressed the Jeffrey Epstein case, another major source of controversy. Epstein's deep connections to the world's most powerful people and his mysterious death in a New York jail cell have led to endless speculation that he was silenced to protect influential figures. Many suspect that classified files could expose the full extent of his operation and reveal names that have so far remained hidden from public view. While some documents have been released, there are still many unanswered questions about Epstein's network, and Trump's statement hinted that he might be willing to let the public see the full story. The secret spacecraft. Trump's latest comments on UFOs and classified government files have reignited speculation about what secrets might still be hidden. During his interview with Joe Rogan, Trump revealed that he was given access to highly classified information about UFOs during his presidency. While he admitted that he was never deeply interested in the subject, he acknowledged that he had spoken to several high-ranking military pilots who described encounters with unidentified objects that moved in ways beyond known technology. That's what got him interested in the whole thing. He specifically mentioned aircraft traveling 4 times faster than an F-22 fighter jet, and objects with no visible propulsion systems. Trump seemed skeptical, but conceded that many of these witnesses were highly credible, describing them as solid people with impeccable reputations. When asked how much information he was allowed to see, Trump claimed he was briefed extensively, but didn't go into specifics. He did, however, acknowledge the growing public interest in the topic, saying that he is frequently asked about UFOs more than almost anything else. He also noted that Area 51 remains a major focus of speculation, though he downplayed the idea that it holds extraterrestrial secrets, calling it more of a tourist attraction. Despite this, his admission that there's no reason not to believe in the possibility of life beyond Earth left the door open for further discussion. The conversation shifted to government secrecy, with Rogan pressing Trump on his handling of the JFK assassination files. Trump confirmed that he had partially declassified them, but was advised by multiple officials, including former CIA Director Mike Pompeo, not to release everything. According to Trump, the reason for keeping some files classified was tied to national security and the potential involvement of still living individuals. He suggested that the withheld information could have significant implications, though he stopped short of confirming any major revelations. Trump then promised that if re-elected, he would fully declassify the remaining JFK files, calling it a cleansing, and emphasizing that the public has a right to know. He also briefly mentioned another classified collection, the Martin Luther King Jr. files, saying there were requests to release them as well. While he didn't go into detail, this comment hinted at further undisclosed government documents related to key historical events. There's a lot that has happened in history that the government slid under the rug, pretending like there wasn't more to it, but there was. The truth about Point Pleasant. For over half a century, the town of Point Pleasant, West Virginia, has been linked to one of the most unsettling legends in American folklore, the Mothman. What began as a handful of eerie sightings quickly snowballed into a mystery involving government agents, strange phenomena, and a deadly disaster that left many wondering if something unnatural had been trying to send a warning. The first reported sighting occurred on November 15, 1966, when 2 young couples were driving through an area known as the TNT area, an abandoned World War II munitions site on the outskirts of town. They described seeing a massive, humanoid figure with glowing red eyes and enormous wings that chased their vehicle at astonishing speeds before disappearing. The local press picked up the story, and as word spread, more witnesses came forward. People described encounters with the same winged figure lurking in trees, hovering near bridges, and watching them from the darkness. Some even reported unsettling side effects, unexplained fear, electrical disturbances, and visits from mysterious men in black suits who seemed eager to silence anyone who spoke too much. At first, the sightings were dismissed as hysteria, but as reports piled up over the next year, many in the community became uneasy. Some believed the creature was a supernatural being, a harbinger of misfortune. Others speculated that the sightings were connected to secret government experiments in the TNT area. The fear reached its peak on December 15, 1967, when the Silver Bridge, which connected Point Pleasant to Ohio, suddenly collapsed during rush hour. 46 people lost their lives as cars plunged into the icy river. In the aftermath, many recalled the Mothman sightings and wondered if the creature had been trying to warn them of the impending disaster. While skeptics argue that the Mothman was nothing more than a case of mistaken identity, possibly a large bird such as a sandhill crane or a barn owl, believers insist that too many eyewitnesses saw something unexplainable. Whether it was an omen of disaster, an interdimensional entity, or a bizarre mutation, the legend has endured. Today, Point Pleasant embraces its history. The town hosts an annual Mothman Festival, attracting thousands of visitors, and a towering steel statue of the creature stands downtown, complete with its signature glowing eyes. Decades later, the mystery of the Mothman remains unsolved, leaving only one question. Was it a warning, or was it something else entirely? Area 51 is what everyone thinks. Area 51 has long been at the center of speculation, secrecy, and wild conspiracy theories. This heavily guarded military base in Nevada is so restricted that even getting near it is nearly impossible. The US government has spent decades avoiding direct questions about what goes on inside, and those who work there are bound by strict NDAs, ensuring that almost nothing leaks out. But that silence may finally be breaking. David Grush, a former Air Force officer and intelligence official, has come forward with shocking claims about what's really happening behind those fences. With experience in both the Air Force and the National Geospatial Intelligence Agency, Grush had access to classified programs and intelligence briefings. When he testified before the House Oversight Committee's National Security Subcommittee, he revealed something that could rewrite history. The U.S. government has been concealing its knowledge of unidentified aerial phenomena for decades. According to Grush, these cover-ups go far beyond occasional sightings. He claims the government has been actively recovering and reverse engineering UAPs in secret programs hidden from Congress. He described an initiative dedicated to studying alien technology, one that has operated for years without oversight. The secrecy was so intense that even someone with his level of clearance struggled to gain access. Every attempt he made to learn more was met with denials. But keeping secrets this massive requires resources, and Grush suggests that billions of dollars have been funneled into these covert programs. He believes the military diverted funding intended for other purposes, using it to fuel operations that Congress never authorized. If true, this points to a massive failure in government oversight, with taxpayer money funding projects that remain hidden from both the public and elected officials. Perhaps the most shocking of Grush's claims is that these secret programs haven't just recovered UAPs, they have also retrieved biological material. He described multiple first-hand accounts from individuals involved in these retrievals, stating that some of the crafts recovered over the years contained non-human biologics. He carefully avoided the word alien, but his meaning was clear. Grush's claims didn't stop there. In an interview with Australian journalist Ross Coulthart, he expanded on what he had uncovered. He stated that, in some cases, crashed UFOs had contained dead pilots, beings that were not of human origin. He also proposed that these UAPs might not be extraterrestrial in the traditional sense, but could be extra-dimensional, operating in ways that defy human understanding. Additionally, Grush warned that these unidentified crafts aren't just passive observers. He pointed to evidence suggesting that some have engaged in what he called malevolent activity. While he didn't go into specifics, his wording implied that encounters with these UAPs have, at times, been hostile. He also raised concerns about the government's handling of the technology recovered from these objects. Instead of keeping it within military or government facilities, Grush claims that some of it has been handed over to private defense contractors for analysis. This raises ethical and security concerns. If these materials are as advanced as he suggests, are they being controlled responsibly? Grush's revelations suggest that Area 51 and similar secretive programs have been housing groundbreaking, possibly world-altering discoveries for decades. If even a fraction of what he says is true, then humanity has already made contact with non-human intelligence, only to have that knowledge locked away in classified files, studied in secret, and kept from the very people funding the research. A real UFO. In 2004, U.S. Navy pilots on a routine training exercise off the coast of California encountered something that shouldn't have been possible. What they saw, a small, white, oval-shaped object with no visible wings or exhaust, would go on to be known as the Tic Tac UFO. Unlike anything in modern aviation, this unidentified craft moved at impossible speeds, performed sudden direction changes, and appeared to defy the laws of physics. Commander David Fravor and other pilots described the Tic Tac-shaped object, accelerating in ways that no known aircraft could match. It didn't just fly fast, it stopped instantly, changed direction on a dime, and maneuvered in ways that should have torn any conventional craft apart. Radar operators tracked it as well, confirming that the object wasn't just a visual anomaly or a sensor glitch. It moved with purpose, reacting to the pilots as if it was aware of their presence. At first, theories circulated that it might be an advanced foreign military aircraft. But as more details emerged, this explanation made less and less sense. The maneuvers the Tic Tac UFO performed were beyond the capabilities of any known human technology. Pilots reported it executing hairpin turns and descending from 80,000 feet to near sea level in seconds, something no fighter jet or drone could possibly withstand. With no visible propulsion system and no heat signature, it didn't behave like any known aircraft. That left the unsettling possibility that this was something else entirely, something not from Earth. The controlled movements and high-speed maneuvers suggested intelligence behind the craft, further fueling theories that the object could be extraterrestrial in origin. For years, the US government remained silent about the incident. Then, in 2017, an explosive revelation changed everything. The Department of Defense officially confirmed the existence of the Tic Tac UFO footage, acknowledging that the video and radar data were real. However, they offered no explanation. They didn't say it was aliens, but they also didn't deny it. That non-answer only added to the mystery. The footage, along with other classified UAP encounters, was released through an expose that sent shockwaves through the public and scientific community. Suddenly, UFOs weren't just the stuff of conspiracy theories. They were real, documented, and officially recognized by the Pentagon. Yet, despite the overwhelming evidence, the incident still hasn't received the level of attention it deserves. If the Tic Tac UFO truly is proof of advanced extraterrestrial technology, then we already have footage of an encounter with non-human intelligence, yet somehow it has remained largely overlooked. Antarctica meteor. In 1996, scientists discovered something that should have changed history: a meteorite from Mars, ALH 84001, found in Antarctica. Inside, they found microscopic structures that looked just like fossilized bacteria. Not just random shapes, actual worm-like formations eerily similar to ancient microbes on Earth. Even more shocking, they found organic molecules and chemical compounds that usually point to biological activity. In other words, possible proof of alien life. At first, NASA seemed to embrace the discovery. President Bill Clinton even addressed it publicly, calling it a breakthrough that could prove life is not alone in the universe. But then, just as quickly as the excitement built, the narrative changed. Scientists started downplaying the findings. Suddenly, reports claimed the bacteria-like shapes were just natural mineral formations, and the organic compounds could have formed without life. The whole thing was quietly buried under layers of skepticism. Why? If this was real evidence of extraterrestrial life, wouldn't governments want us to know? Or is that exactly why they shut it down? ALH 84001 could have rewritten everything we know about life in the universe, but instead, it became just another debunked mystery. Silverado Ranch aliens. In May 2023, something strange happened in the Silverado Ranch neighborhood of Las Vegas. A bright fireball streaked across the sky before crashing into a backyard. What followed was even more unsettling. Witnesses, including brothers Angel and Joshua Kenmore, claimed to see two beings emerge from the wreckage. Described as 8 to 10 feet tall with oversized eyes and an eerie presence, these creatures moved around the yard, seemingly interacting with objects before disappearing. The Kenmore family, visibly shaken, called 911, reporting non-human entities in their backyard. The call quickly gained traction online, adding to the growing mystery. When Las Vegas Metro Police arrived, officers searched the area, but found nothing. However, body camera footage showed an object falling from the sky at the same time the family reported the crash. This raised questions. Was there something real behind their claims? In the days that followed, the family felt like they were being watched. They suspected federal authorities, particularly the FBI, were monitoring them. They even received cryptic warnings not to discuss what they had seen. This only fueled speculation that something was being covered up. With no debris, no bodies, and no official explanation, the Silverado Ranch incident remains unsolved. Was it an elaborate fabrication, or did something unexplainable land in that backyard? And if so, why was it so quickly brushed aside? Aliens in Congress. In September 2023, journalist Jaime Maussan shocked the Mexican Congress by presenting two alleged non-human mummies. Discovered in 2017 near Peru's Nazca lines, these small, fragile bodies had elongated skulls, three-fingered hands, and lightweight bones, features unlike any known human remains. Even more bizarre, their necks appeared to be retractable, a trait unheard of in human biology. Carbon dating placed the mummies at over 1,000 years old, but the real controversy began with DNA analysis. Nearly a third of their genetic material didn't match any known Earth species, leading to speculation that they could be extraterrestrial. Supporters argue that this is undeniable proof of alien life, while skeptics demand more verification. Peruvian researchers insist the remains are unaltered, but critics suspect a hoax or misidentified ancient remains. Even though this was one of the most interesting alien encounters we've ever seen, the whole story disappeared as fast as it initially came, and we never heard about it ever again. Viking aliens. In 1976, NASA's Viking program sent two landers, Viking 1 and Viking 2, to Mars with the goal of studying its surface and searching for signs of life. Among the various scientific tests they conducted, one experiment produced results that remain controversial to this day. The labeled release experiment, designed to detect microbial activity, involved mixing Martian soil with a nutrient-rich solution and monitoring for signs of metabolism. To the shock of scientists, the test produced positive results, suggesting the presence of living microorganisms in the soil. This sparked immediate excitement. Had NASA just discovered extraterrestrial life? However, follow-up tests failed to detect organic molecules, leading many researchers to believe the reaction was chemical rather than biological. Some argued that Martian soil contained reactive compounds, such as perchlorates, that could mimic lifelike responses without the presence of actual microbes. NASA ultimately concluded that the Viking had not found life, but not everyone was convinced. Some scientists continue to argue that the Viking landers may have unknowingly detected microbial life, but lacked the technology to confirm it. Others speculate that Mars's extreme conditions could have destroyed organic material before it could be analyzed. The debate has persisted for decades, with later missions searching for more definitive proof. Since Viking, multiple rovers and orbiters have explored Mars, uncovering evidence that liquid water once existed and that underground environments might still support life. Yet, no clear biological signatures have been detected. The possibility remains that life, if it exists, could be hidden beneath the surface, awaiting future exploration. While the Viking landers didn't provide a definitive answer, they may have offered the first glimpse of extraterrestrial biology, one that remains an open question nearly 50 years later. Proof in Nevada. In the 1930s, miners in Nevada's Lovelock Cave uncovered massive skeletons, some estimated to be up to 9 feet tall. Adding to the mystery, the remains had traces of red hair, an unusual trait not commonly found in Native American populations. These discoveries closely resembled Paiute legends of the Site Ka, a race of red-haired giants said to have terrorized local tribes before being wiped out in a final battle inside the cave. Excavations also revealed artifacts like tools, baskets, and animal remains, suggesting the site had been occupied for a long time. Some skeletons had elongated skulls and unusually long limbs, details that set them apart from typical human remains. While archaeologists argue that gigantism or natural mutations could explain their size, and that the red hair may have changed color due to decomposition, others aren't convinced. UFO theorists and alternative historians suggest these remains could belong to alien-human hybrids or even extraterrestrials. With their strange physical traits and unexplained origins, the question remains, were there aliens here this whole time and we just didn't realize it?